during my teens, I began to really believe that I was ugly because I was different to everybody else, and that I was inadequate and I wasn't normal. So I think it really hit me hard as a teenager, where my confidence was so low because of the fact that I thought that I was ugly. Growing up as a child, I would constantly ask my mum and dad the question why all the time, because I could clearly see that both of my legs were different to my mum and dad's and my brother and my sister's, and I just wanted to know why it was different. I never really felt self-conscious. I was quite confident about telling people, oh, this is my birthmark, it's different to yours or different to your legs. But as I got into my early teens to late teens, I feel like that was the period that I started to become more aware and more self-conscious about the changes in my body during adolescence, and let alone that my birthmark on my leg was also quite different to others, and I started to get quite self-conscious and start to worry about what people would think and what they would say. I was quite concerned about the fact that if they saw that I was different to them and I wasn't blending in with everybody else and looked the same as everybody else, that they would reject me as a friend, and that I wouldn't have any friends, or that I would feel alone, and that nobody would love me. I was at a youth camp when I was 15 years old, and I remember all the girls went down to the beach to go for a swim, and I remember feeling really self-conscious. I wore really long board shorts, and we went for a swim. And then when I got out, I asked one of the mums who came to help at youth camp to hold the towel around me so that no one else would see my legs when I pulled my wet shorts off and put my dry ones on. And she turned around and looked at me and said, "No, I'm not going to do that. I feel like you need to be confident in who you are and who God's called you to be." Just felt so overwhelmingly scared and fearful about what all the other girls around me would say when they saw my birthmark on my leg. And I think that was just a real moment for me when I realized that this fear is stupid, and why should I be so fearful about something that, yes, is different on me, but is not changing who I am as a person and who God's called me to be. So why should I be limited by something as little as a birthmark? Culture today and those pressures that are put on us to be a certain way and to be perfect and to look perfect, I really struggled with growing up, because it really highlighted for me the areas in my life that weren't necessarily perfect or didn't necessarily look the same as everybody else. And I really struggled because of that. And it wasn't until I had a revelation of God's love for me and truly accepted His love for me that I began to be free and feel confident. Even today, I may still have negative thoughts about my birthmark or about my insecurities with my birthmark, but I really believe that as we fix our eyes on the Word of God, that the truth of the Word of God will set us free, and that we will be able to live a life of true freedom and confidence in God.